Welcome along to the EXFL Tier 2 Season 8 Japanese Grand Prix. We're here for round 16 out of 22. We're heading into the final third of the World Drivers' Championship and Constructors' Championship. I am Efron Union, your main commentator for tonight. Wasn't here last time out in Singapore. Wasn't here last time out in Singapore. Got Uri from Tier 1 to do that, as the drivers are now heading out onto the track. So yeah, stream will be uploaded to our YouTube in a couple of days. So if you missed that and didn't know where to find the stream, it will be up there soon. Let's see what happened. More drivers last week than this week. It's just one of those where a bunch can't unfortunately make one day. But anyway, the maximum will be 12 if EXFL Nikos can join at the end. Accidentally deleted F1. Right, let me get some things in order and then quali will properly kick off. Right, overcast for qualifying. Looks like the race will be dry too. Just one final check of audio. Testing. And we're all good, right. Right then, we're here in Suzuka 1 week after the race in Singapore that saw this man on his return, the guy who started in 11th, win the Singapore Grand Prix with a brilliant, bold strategy move. Everyone went on to inters at the end as it started to rain. The track wasn't wet enough. He went on to the dries. He won by nearly 20 seconds. And yeah, both Tier 1 and Tier 2 winners from last week both started from P11, which I don't think has ever happened before. So yeah, Ridian won from Seb in P2. Logan got on the podium for third to extend his championship advantage. Tom got his, as he goes into the grass there at turn 2, got his best current result of 3 P10s in a row to get fourth last time out. Sven, who's not racing today, got fifth. Cal, he got sixth, good points for McLaren. Nikos, if he can join back, got seventh. Cargos Blanc got 8th, not racing today. Drifting got 9th, more points for him, he's racing. Noah on his return, the Dutch Dodo, got 10th, not racing. And Bluey finished P11, he missed out on the points. A season best equaling race for him in P11. But with only so few today, is there a chance that Bluey Doggo can get his first points in EXFL Tier 2? Morgan retired, Josh retired, Luigi retired, Warren retired, Oren retired, as Oren is now back. Good to see him, the GOAT. As Nick says, 5 minutes left of his upload, so that hopefully he should be he should join. And unfortunately, Callum H, the closest driver to Logovic 09 in the World Drivers' Championship, unfortunately got disqualified from last week's race, involving where pretty much a glitch where under safety car you overtake it as you go into the pit lane and you get instantly disqualified. So that lost him a potential, I'd say, maximum of second if he was going to do what everyone else did, go on to inters. So that's 18 points he missed out on. He trails Logan by 66 points. It could have been as low as 48, but with 7 rounds to go, he's got nothing to lose. Right, just talking to Warren, and it seems like he will also join. So that might be 13 at the max. The lowest we've had so far this season is 13, so if this race is 13, that's fine. Anyway, times on the board. Callum H, 27.5. He's been on pole the last 2 races. He's got to do everything in these final 7 races to close that gap to Logan. Luigi, half a second off. Cal, 1.4 down. Ridian, 1.6 down. Drifting, 5 seconds off, but on the Inters. And Bluey, 5.1 off on the dries. Frosty Life, hoping to get some good points today. Tom, I'm sure he'll do the same. There is Warren. Oren, let's see what he can do. I believe he's on pad. Not too bad of a corner. Same with that one, but we'll see what he can do. Maybe he can beat Bluey. Seb and Logan. 2 big names, still not doing any lap times yet. We're a third of the way done. Good, and I heard the start anew. Right, yeah, look, Warren's in. Hopefully he can pick his car. Alright, let's carry on with Oren. 32.4 for the first sector. It'll be a 1 minute 13.3 for the middle. As hopefully Warren knows how to pick his car. Williams. Just going to ask him. Yep, he doesn't know how to take control, so got to quickly tell him. Right, Oren went P5 with that. 3 seconds off his teammate, nearly dead on. That Warren's joined back now. Didn't see him leave. Right, Frosty on his outlap. Tom on his outlap. About to begin his flying lap. Right then, riding on board. Riding on board with the Red Bull of Tom as he plunges down into turn 1. Such a lovely track to drive as he exits turn 1 and 2. Now coming up through the S section now. Not taking too much curb on any of the corners really. Flowing. No mistakes so far. I don't think he's pushing 100% yet. He's just trying to get a lap time on the board before he does right at the end. Yeah, there we go. Warren's in his Williams. 31.8 for Tom as we head down past Degner 1 into Degner 2 on the exit. So easy to mess up the corner. Now plunging down into the hairpin. The Ferrari in front of him will cause a little bit of eye bother, but hopefully they'll get out of the way. Now on the exit. So far so good. A little bit of grass getting kicked up there. Turning too early for the Red Bull. And I think Nick may be joining in, so that's good. It has been 5 minutes since he said 5 minutes through. Spoon curve. The Ferrari's still in front of him. And hopefully he'll get out of the way before he gets into 130R. Brilliant, slows down. Is he going to have to get off the racing line? Is he giving Tom a bit of a tow? He does get out of the way eventually. 12.0. Heading into the final sector, which is essentially just this hairpin, this chicane. Which is done very nicely indeed on the power, making sure not to lose it. Across the line then for Tom. DRS open. Right at the end, it'll be a 28.7 to put himself 1.1 seconds down on Callum, who still leads the pace pretty well then. A little bit of a slide there. Don't know if he's just began his second lap. If so, which he has, it's not the greatest start to it. Nick says 30 seconds, that's good. Didn't catch that first sector of Callum, but we'll look at Seb's first sector. Hasn't put a time on the board yet. It's a 31.2. The lone Alpha Tauri trying to carry the team, who are still trying to fight McLaren, but the gap between them two is pretty similar to Logan versus Callum, in the sense they are quite a few points behind. Heading through the middle sector then, look back at Callum. He was 64 thousandths down in the first. Has he found any time in the middle to improve? Oh no, he's down by 3/10, so unless he has a mega final chicane, Callum isn't going to improve for now. We'll look back to Seb then, who's exited Spoon now. Up through the gears, full throttle. Let's see what his middle set to split is. It's a 10.8. Watch out for Seb Callum as he heads into the pit lane. He's chasing pole. Nick opening the game. Have to see if multiplayer works. No worries. Right, Seb round the final corner. Then a little bit of grass kicked up. That's going to lose him a bit considering it's the exit. Across the line, it's a 27.6. A 10th down is Seb on Callum. I'm sure there's a bit more time we can find, but at the moment it's the front row. What about Logan then? 31.6, that's a couple tenths off Seb through the middle sector. It's at 11.2, that's 4 tenths off Seb at the moment. Logan hasn't got the pace to challenge for the front row, and he'll be around where Luigi is at least for his first run. Callum, at least in qualifying, has been besting Logan, but Logan in the race has got the race pace, the consistency of not getting time penalties either to cross the line. Go P3. Good final sector for the McLaren to get it within under 4 tenths. Right. As Luigi now goes on to provisional pole, found 6 tenths. Like Nick's having more issues. Right, what about Frosty Life then? He's just began his lap, and I think Warren is directly behind him. So I don't know why Warren's decided to start his lap directly behind the Aston, but Frosty is quicker, so it shouldn't be too much of a bother. Right then, Luigi has never started on pole position. He's had a P2 start before, 1 or 2, but at the moment, as we head into the final laps they're going to do, Luigi, who has been quite the quali wonder sometimes this season and last, this would be very well deserved for Luigi to be the next new pole sitter in EXFL Tier 2. As across the line, drifting goes P5 while all that was happening. What? Where did Frost... Wait. Oh, no, that... Oh yeah, drifting goes P5 then. Solid qualifying from him. Got him mixed up with his teammate Warren. Frosty and Warren then, they're going to be the last to complete their laps. As it seems like, yeah, Nick is not going to be able to join, unfortunately. As across the line then, for Frosty Life to go P4. 3 thousandths behind Seb. Good lap from Frosty. Warren dips into the top 10, 2.8 down. But things are hotting up now. Right, it'll be 12 then. Okay, that's fine for being the lowest of the season. Right. I think we've got about 3 and a bit minutes to go then. Luigi, is he on another lap? Well, he's heading through Spoon. Oh, he's gone off there. So that definitely won't be good enough to beat his time. Frosty then, P4 at the moment, ahead of Logan. The more people that can get in between Callum and Logan, the better Callum will want. And yeah, drifting, who's had some decent qualifyings around the lower end of the top 10 up to 6th, maybe even 5th. I'm sure he'll be happy with that. Not too far off Logan, actually. Just over a 10th. Right, he's causing yellows. Frosty. As he gets out of the way of Bluey, who I don't think is on the lap. Nope. Right, yes. 3 minutes remain then. As they're all heading out now for their final run. It's hotting up. Hopefully Frosty should make it in and out. Actually, I don't know if he has enough time. Yeah, there we go. He's having to cut across. This will be a little close for him. He should have enough time, just about. Well then, top 6 in. Logan, what can he do then? The championship leader, as Ridian is on his outlap, followed by Callum in front of him. Tom in the pits. Warren coming around the final corner to, I believe, start his final lap then. Oren, P11 at the moment. Oren and Warren. Right, heading down to turn 1 goes the Williams driver. 2.8 down, 3/10 ahead of the next car, but has to find 1.3 seconds if he wants to climb up the order. So through the S section now comes the Williams driver. Tom now on his outlap. The top 6 still in the pits, drifting out now, followed by Seb, followed by Logan. Still wait, and then Callum, and then Luigi. So Frosty, last one left. He's retired. That's it for him then. Warren down by 8/10, so it seems like he will stay 10th at best. Remaining in the pit lane, Bluey Doggo, with 1 minute 40 left on the clock. He will be 12th and last, unless anyone disqualifies himself. But look at this train of 6 cars, and it's all pretty much the top 6. Going off there is Oren. To not really warm up the tyres, but get a lot of weight on the tyres of gravel. And who do we watch for the final run? All of them want pole position, because turn 1 isn't really one where you can send it on the inside and then brake. It's just a continuous motion. So P1, if you get a good start, you're pretty much confirmed it, unless someone else behind you gets an even better one. We've had Cow, who took the opening race pole. Sin Icon, who's not racing here, has taken 4. Logan in Baku, Seb in Miami, as well as Spain. Callum in Britain. Logan in Hungary, his 1 pole of the... Oh, wait, no. Baku and Hungary for Logan. There's Cow, 3/10 up nearly into the first sector. Frosty, who's retired in 4th, pole in Netherlands. And then the last 2 pole positions in the last 2 races have gone to this man, who's about to begin his final flying lap. Callum, as Warren goes off there. Heading through the middle sector then. Warren's out. Callum begins his lap. In the background is Luigi. And Seb into turn 2 ahead of them. Logan will be the last one to cross the line then. And here we go. In 1 minute 40 seconds, we will find out who is on pole for the Japanese Grand Prix. Callum, a little bit of traffic there as he has to go off and avoid. Is that drifting? No. Warren's AI car, I believe, then. So Warren, he retired. His AI carried on. And it looks like Callum and Luigi have now collided. The top 2 on the timing sheets have had an incident, and that means both of them are out of contention in the last run. And now Seb, who's half a second down. Callum 5th, Ridian 6th. It's down to Logan then, who's down by a bit, as now his championship rival, I believe. No, it's Oren. What? I don't know, never mind. May have been Callum, I don't know, but Logan was down. He's down in 7th at the moment, so Callum 5th place will put him behind Logan. But at the moment, seems like Luigi is going to get his first pole in EXFL Tier 2. Unless Logan can find half a second. What about drifting to cross the line? He goes to P6. That means Callum will still start ahead of Logan, who's still 3/10 down on his time. Tom 9th, the top 9 covered by under 7/10. Luigi, as Seb crosses the line down, it may have all gone to shambles for him, but it's gone to shambles for pretty much everyone else. And Logan to cross the line, if he's found any more time. No, he hasn't. There is your grid. Luigi, for the first time in EXFL Tier 2, is going to cross the line and take pole position. There's your grid. Callum, with a 5-place grid penalty, will drop him down to 7th in front of Logan. The top 2 in the World Championship share the 4th row. It's Luigi and then Seb on the front. Frosty Life will be 3rd. Cal will be 4th. Drifting, I believe, that's a career best 5th for him. Ridian starts 6th. Callum will drop to 7th. Logan 8th. Tom 9th. Warren into the top 10. Oren 11th. Bluey 12th. Right, bit of a crazy end to quali there. Not something you see every week. I don't think we've ever seen that, really. Every single driver, no one improved on their final runs. So that shows the importance of getting a good lap under your belt before the last few minutes. Anyway, sunny Suzuka. I believe that's like it for all because I haven't seen anyone say rain. So here we go then. Hopefully, first time round, no restarts and all that. Luigi will have no one in front of him for the first time in EXFL Tier 2. It's been coming for a while and he very much deserves it. He will be on pole position and let's see if he can really translate that into a really solid finish. Can he convert it to his first ever win? We will find out in a few moments' time as the lights will come on. It's Luigi on the left, Seb on the right, Logan and Cal watching the back on the fourth row, the title protagonists. As the revs rise, and it's lights out and away we go. It's a good start from Luigi as Seb crawls right behind him onto the grass, goes drifting, but following into turn one does Seb. Dead to the inside, it's AlphaTauri versus Red Bull, and to the inside, Cal's up to third. It's Seb who's into the lead as we have a VSC, we have a yellow flag, should I say. It is a VSC as they're all slowing down as Luigi's dropped down to third. What a start from Cal, who's up to P2, but is he going to give the place back to Luigi? Iridium's up to fourth, Frosty down to fifth. Cal and Logan have each made up one place, staying where they are. Tom 2, Warren, as it's drifting, who's round. Oh, without a nose, that's why we have a VSC as Cal and Luigi swapping around. Biggest gainer at the start, looks like it's Ridian and Cal. Let's look at the tyres. Softs for the majority and mediums, pretty much half and half. Frosty goes on hard compound tyres. So the BSC is over then. It's Seb then who leads from Cal. Luigi down to third. Ridian up to fourth. Frosty Life holding his ground in fifth. And then Callum. And then Logan. He hasn't really said much about this track. Doesn't seem like it's one he enjoys. Down in seventh under pressure from Tom. And then Warren ahead of Oren and Bluey just outside the points drifting. Without a win, we saw him go onto the grass as they headed down into turn one. Don't know how he's lost that. But Seb with nearly a second advantage on the soft compound tyres ahead of Cal. It's like Italy all over again. But instead of Tom being the Red Bull, the first Red Bull, it's Luigi this time round. No Cadwell to spin him this time as they head through the final chicane for the first time of 27. And Seb will cross the line then to start lap 2 of the Japanese Grand Prix. Looking in the background, Callum is all over Frosty. And it looks like he's ahead up in a fifth, getting the moves done when he needs to. Bluey versus Oren in the background. Callum making his way back up after that unfortunate 5-place grid penalty. Still ahead of Logan at the moment. As Oren and Bluey, should I say, battling there. Bluey's ahead of Oren until he gets spun. Bluey's been tagged by the Haas as drifting's fitting and who knows. Bluey spins around. Luigi is now ahead of Cal, who's gone off. Cal has been spun, or spun himself, and now that's dropped him all the way down the order. A touch with Luigi, or just losing it himself, whatever the case. That's promoted Callum up in a fourth and Logan up in a sixth. Does he dare to the inside of Frosty Life? No, stay behind him for now. On the soft, same as Callum and Ridian, who's now onto the podium. Luigi, 1.5 behind Seb. The car in between has spun. That meant the gap has got bigger between the two. And yeah, don't know what happened with Cal there. Mistake or an incident. If there's a safety car, you can tell us in the chat. Drifting, just going to have to carry on for now. Same with Bluey. Unfortunate to be tagged by Oren. Logan through 130R. Goes the McLaren as Frosty has to go off there. So Logan up in a fifth now. Logan up in a fifth then. As he's more than a second behind Callum, who's more than a second behind Ridian, who vice versa with Luigi, and the same with Seb. Callum fastest lap. He's using a bit more battery than others around him. Now it's Tom's turn to get Frosty. Logan can afford to be outscored by Callum here and there. Pretty much every race actually, as long as he finishes consistently in good points. But it's always going to come down to many factors. Qualifying is a very minor one at this rate. It has to be race pace, 3-second penalty awareness, connection-wise. They've both left, Callum probably more than others, and probably been more unlucky. But at the moment, like a lot of races this season, Seb is leading it from the get-go. but it's always somehow gone wrong for him or AlphaTauri or both. But you never know. Luigi not going to give this up without a fight then. Blasting his battery, pretty much half of Seb's, to get back within a second. Just out of it at the moment. And they're all a bit spaced out. Callum now attacking Ridian. Logan just under a second. Frosty, he's going to go long. He's a bit of a tyre whisperer among these guys. One of the most experienced drivers on the grid. And he's going long with those hards to go deep into the race. But Tom is putting him under pressure. Callum all over the back of Ridian then, who doesn't have DRS. So Callum should be able to clear him into turn 1, unless Ridian is blasting to keep ahead, which he's going to try and do. But Callum is already there alongside him, and the Haas is going to get ahead of the Ferrari. Callum is back up onto the podium. And Logan has fallen outside of that. So considering he was so close, it seems like Callum's straight line speed is really giving him the advantage. So through the corners, you can look, Ridian's all over the back of him. So Callum definitely running a lower wing setup, less downforce on the car. But through the straight up to 130R and the main straight is going to be where he gains the advantage. We see him sliding at the end of the S's through Degner 1 now. Ridian still over the back of him. And Callum can choose to either blast his battery and leave him, or work together with the Ferrari who's gone off there. But they've struggled so much that's let Logan already on the back of them there, as Frosty nearly outside of a second behind. And on the exit, we'll see that go back up a little bit. So third all the way down to 7th in a bit of a DRS train there. As Luigi has got back within a second of the race leader. The softs, how much are they going to fall off? How much is Luigi going to gain if he can just keep with Seb? He's barely out of battery, but Seb's using his too. We'll look in the background. Callum, is he just going to drain his battery to keep hold of third? Because he's tagging the guys behind along. Cal gets ahead of Oren. Who is reserving in the Haas with Callum. So even if Nick joined, Oren's in his car. Oh well. Oren's sliding all over the shot, so that allows Cal to get ahead. And it seems like Callum has stayed ahead of Ridian then. 2.5 behind the top two, who are keeping ahead as Luigi is closing the gap. 10% difference between him and Seb. Oren 3 second as he goes off there into turn 2. Drifting, gained about 8 seconds on Bluey, who's lost about 4 seconds to Oren. All on the same tyre. And yeah, the battle's truly on for the final place on the podium in front of them. Wheel to wheel is going off there. A safety car because Cal has once again lost it at the same corner, lost his nose, and that's caused a safety car now. So this does help the soft runners. This does not help Frosty or Luigi. Cal really struggling there. So he probably did mess up on his first time round there. To spin. Now lost his front wing. Safety car on lap 5. Only lap 5. As we had a VSC on the opening lap. So yeah, Cal, his race gets from bad to worse, but in a way it kind of brings him back into it. Warren up to 8th then. Tom 7th, Frosty 6th, Logan 5th, Ridian 4th. This helps Callum actually, because he gets to close in on the top two, who I'm sure will pit. But now here's the question. Do they pit onto hards to go to the end, or do they turn it into a 2-stop race? Medium, 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 soft. See what they do. Luigi puts on the hards. Seb. Is that mediums? It is. What about Callum then? Those are the hard compound tyres. Logan, medium, so it's a bit of an array. Here, what about Tom? He stayed out. Same with Frosty Life. Ooh, be careful, because the safety car will just stop, and you will not know sometimes. Oren stays out in front of his teammate Callum. Then Ridian, who's also on the mediums. Warren on the hards. Cal on the softs. So he started on the mediums, pits for softs. So he could go mediums at the end, potentially. Bluey in, drifting. He may as well pit again, but he's already used one of his mediums that may have a lap. So, Frosty, Tom, and Oren have stayed out. If Oren knows what's best for his teammate in terms of the championship, he should probably actually pit to let his teammate go. Or something's going on there as Luigi's gone off. Or Callum gets him on the restart and he does his very best to maybe defend against Iridian and Logan. Because Luigi's the front runner on hards, then Callum, so they can go to the end potentially. Mediums, I don't see them doing 21 laps. So yeah, Drifting, Bluey, Warren, Callum and Luigi, they don't really have to stop again. Seb, Iridian and Logan, and definitely Cal will have to. And Frosty and Tom as well as Oren, who haven't pitted yet. Seb saying hello to Tom in front of him. Of course, Italy, when Seb accidentally hit the back of him and spun him. Denied Tom of back-to-back top fives, I believe. So, yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen this time. We've only really seen one incident, and that was when Oren hit Bluey. Speaking of Oren, only penalty goes to him at the moment. Safety car will be out for another lap. The bottom three haven't caught the train yet. Does Oren pit? He does not. Right, so lap 7, still have every driver left in this race. Had a VSC cause on the open lap because this man right here lost his front wing somehow. And we had a safety car called on lap 5 because this man lost his front wing on the corner coming up. It's his second time of the evening he has spun there. Let's hope it's the last. And yeah, Callum is going to be keen to get some moves done. I'm sure he can get past Warren, who's on 2 compounds slower, as well as it being Warren. Logan in front of him, don't know how that's going to play out. Logan will hopefully have to try and get past Iridian. And if Callum has the pace, he can try and hold off the ones behind. But he's going to go long, as will the others. And if there is a safety car with however many laps to go and they all pit onto softs, pitting onto mediums is the right thing. But right now, the hards looks better because they can go to the end. Or have a better chance of going to the end anyway. Right, safety car will be in this lap then. Still 20 laps of racing to go. Frosty Life. Aston Martin 1-2 at the moment, really. Until one will peel off into the pits. Followed by Tom. I really don't know why he stayed out, but considering he was on the back of the train, and if there's another safety car later down the line, you never know how it could work out for him. But yeah, safety car in this lap then. Frosty will now back them up. That's a good shot. Safety car peels off then into the pit lane. Frosty will begin racing as we exit the chicane. Single file from everyone. And he's going to accelerate upwards now, climb through the gears, making sure not to lose the rear. And he is away. Good start then. As we cross the line, it's Frosty from Tom, from Seb, from Luigi, from Callum, who's already getting ahead of Oren as he dives into the pit wall nearly and gets overtaken by his teammate. Going defensive on Iridian. Logan hasn't had the greatest restart. Warren's already all over the back of him as Cal's watching that unfold. Then Bluey, then Drifting. So far, so good for the 12 in the Grand Prix. And Oren, look at this. He's holding Iridian up, just like we predicted. And that is allowing Callum to hang on to Luigi and Seb, the original leaders of this race. Oren really holding them up now, as Iridian is going to have to try ascend. His first opportunity is into the hairpin, coming up in a few corners' time. And they're all having to slow down the gap and pace deficit as well as the tyres. Does Iridian try it? Down into the hairpin. He's going to have to as Oren goes deep. That allows Iridian to the inside. A little bit of grass. Oren slides. Nearly hits Logan. And now he rejoins right behind. We've got a yellow in the background. And it seems like there's been a collision between Bluey and Cal once again. Now dropping behind Drifting and Bluey. Warren putting Oren all under sorts of pressure. It's Warren versus Oren. And they make contact into Spoon. Warren who dipped his wheel. Oren, don't know if he left him enough space, but that's now 2 spins. And Bluey Doggo is up into the points as Warren rejoins behind him, and Cal will have to use those softs to even more greater effect. As we look into the final chicane, Seb down the inside of Tom, backs off as round the outside goes Luigi, who has to back off, and there's Callum. Does Luigi see him? They're so close to contact, and Luigi just stays ahead. What's the gap between Callum and Ridian? 1.6 seconds, as Callum has already used up half his battery. Luigi used a bit more of his to stay in front. Seb all over the back of Tom, drifting into the pit lane. Frosty still leads out ahead of Tom, ahead of Seb. Then comes Luigi with Callum, and then Ridian versus Logan in 6th and 7th. Oren down in 8th, still yet to pit, sliding all over the shot. Bluey going to come under pressure from Warren. They're both going to come under pressure from Cal, as Seb ahead of Tom. Not a place you normally see an overtake, but it looks clean, looks good, and it looks like it's P2 for Seb, as the leader has got a 3-second time penalty. Does Seb dare down into the hairpin? Seems like he's a bit too far behind, as we have a yellow, and I think it's Bluey Doggo going off there. Yellow cleared as Luigi now gets past his teammate, letting him go, I think. Warren now 3-second time penalty. Callum now all over the back of Tom. And if his straight line deficit is anything to say, up on the run up to 130R, he may get him. But look, Ridian nearly closing within a second now of Callum. So Callum needs to get a move on now, using his battery. Tom using it too. But here comes Callum flying by on the outside. Tom using everything as we see through 130R. Seb take the lead. That's the second time through that corner. Frosty has lost a position. And to the inside, Luigi now versus the Aston Martin, who doesn't put up much of a fight. Tom still ahead of Callum, looking in the background. Ridian may just have got DRS. Warren versus Cal, who goes off there into P9 and 10 as he backs off not to gain an illegal overtake, as Tom defending from Callum, who's using it, but Tom is flashing already. Callum to the inside now. He's going to take me forward, will he? Back around the outside. Tom gets up in a 4th again, and he's putting on quite the defence. Is it to help Luigi? Is it to help his own race? Doesn't matter for him. What a defence as Callum round the outside too, fighting Warren on the softs. Warren breaks deeper to keep his car ahead, and Warren, good defence from these two to keep himself up in a 9th. As the top two, originally as they were and as they are now, are streaking away clear of Frosty, who's holding them up as Ridian and Logan are back on the fight. And yeah, Callum, didn't work for him, 38%. Tom's got to save it back up. Ridian all over the back of the Haas, a little bit into the grass there. They're not a million miles away from the leaders, but it is more than a second. Great action on the last lap then. So, Luigi on the hards versus Seb on the mediums. Luigi can just keep with Seb, tow him along, and at the moment, he looks in a good place. Frosty, a bunch of battery. Tom with barely any battery. Cal, does he try and move? Not close enough into 130R. Ridian with a bit more battery than him. Seems like Callum's best shot now is not to go to the inside. As he's now going to switch back, get the good exit on Tom. Go around the outside, blast his battery, switch to the inside as Tom has tried everything, and now he's going to get done by Callum and Ridian. Logan watching this unfold, and Ridian up ahead of Tom as Luigi takes the lead, or does he? He goes a bit deep. Seb stays behind for now in 2nd, Callum up in a 4th, Ridian 5th, Tom in 6th, Logan off, the championship leader into the grass a little bit there, just not having a good race at the moment. As Oren into the pits then, but you never know with Logan. The race always seems to come to him. But at the moment, he's hanging on the back of these guys. And now 1 car left for Callum, which is Frosty, before he can get himself back onto the podium. But 2.5 seconds to the front two. And it seems like Ridian being a thorn, as well as Tom in the championship leaders' sides. A bit for Logan and Callum, really, as it's 5 cars heading through the hairpin there. What about Cal? He's still fighting with Warren as Logan has got ahead of Tom now. Blasting a bit of his battery. He's up in the 6th, and Tom yet to pit. Same with Frosty. Looks like he will be soon. So Seb, 9/10 now behind Luigi. Frosty defensive, doesn't want to get overtaken for a 3rd time, but Callum round the outside may want to try and have a go. He backs off to get the DRS. Ridian aware of this. Now trying a switchback. Ridian's had a brilliant exit. He's all over the back of the Haas, who's now going to blast his battery and use the slip from DRS to get up in a third. But watch Ridian as he's in the slip of both of them. Callum up in a third. Ridian to the inside of Frosty Life for fourth. Wheel to wheel, the Ferrari and the Aston. Frosty doesn't give much of a fight. Callum back onto the podium. Ridian's up to fourth. Frosty now down to fifth. And now Logan's got to try and find a way past him. As look how much he's holding him up. Warren still fighting ahead of Cal. This is brilliant to see. Cal on softs. Can't seem to find a way past Warren. And Tom, once again, finds himself at the back of this train as drifting gets ahead of Warren for P11. Now, with Tom obviously going to be the first of these lot to pit, considering the tyre difference, if these lot eventually have to pit, Tom is going to gain quite a gap on them with newer tyres. And if it is for the hards, now would actually be a good time to pit. But obviously with safety cars and VSCs, that has extended his life longer. So he is in a bit of a 50-50 here. As look at that, Luigi is 2 seconds on the slower tyre ahead of Seb, who's used everything. I mean, Luigi pretty much has too, but wow. Luigi wants this win. First ever pole. He wants the first ever win. And Callum, as Logan versus Frosty into the final chicane. Frosty's gone deep. Now Logan will try the switchback on the Aston Martin. Down to under 60%. They pretty much got the same, but this should be no competition. Logan will fly past Frosty, and Tom will watch this unfold. Frosty's still there, but he'll probably give it up. Logan up in a fifth. A little wide, but he's got the job done. Outside of a second, though, Ridian and Callum. Ridian just along for the ride, really, trying to hope Callum tags him, brings him with him. But 3 seconds off the leaders, that's how much time he's lost as we are halfway done with the race. Oh, spinning around there, no! Tom in 7th. Those mediums already giving way. That's going to allow Warren and Cal to close up on him, and he's going to have to pit. It was going to be a case of pitting, gain a bunch of time on the guys in front, maybe be ahead of them, but now it's going to be a case of pitting and gaining all that time just to be with them again, as he has lost 7 seconds. And Frosty, he'll have to pit too. Maybe he can do what Tom's going to do and pit for the mediums, but he's going to have to wait maybe a couple more laps. Pitting now is borderline. Seems like it's pretty even pace between Callum and Seb. Seb on the mediums, just eking out a little bit more. Callum has cleared Ridian a little bit of a second, who's just over a second ahead of Logan, again, who's over a second ahead of Frosty, so they've all spaced out. Logan may just get under a DRS of Ridian, who's down to 40%. Not often you see Logan at the halfway stage under 70, but they're all trying to use their battery a bit. And the one with the most was on 68, who was that? Drifting. Just out in no man's land, hunting down Bluey Doggo, who I'm sure is enjoying his time at the moment in the points, but it's down to see whether it's going to be him or drifting. Seems like Oren with the penalty, that's not going to be the case. As here we go, run aboard with Callum, using his battery, gaining and gaining on the Williams. Does he go to the left? Yes, he does, around the outside of the Williams, but can't quite do anything yet. Stays behind for now. If he can't gain further forward, he may as well have a battle. Oren, another 3 seconds. Still got every driver as we cross the halfway stage. As exiting the pit lane comes Tom. There's drifting. Tom onto the hard compound tyres to go to the end of the race. Logan all over the back of Ridian, who has absolutely been left for Callum. Again, same gap as Seb, but Luigi is flying. He loves this track. Does the Red Bull and wants to win. But yeah, it seems like Logan at the moment looking good for P4 as soon as he gets past Ridian. Ridian with no DRS. Looks like Logan will clear him on the straight. And if they pit, they'll come out round about where Warren and Cal are. Cal is going to have to pit soon. Warren also going defensive. Logan actually lost a bit of time on exit there. Ridian's trying to break the toe as he goes right. and just lets Logan go, not putting up too much of a fight. If they have to work together, they're going to work together. But Ridian's gone off there, and that's completely destroyed the plan, as Frosty's going to get back ahead of Ridian. So letting Logan go, staying behind, has not worked for the Ferrari, who's lost time to him. And Frosty's still sticking with these guys. It's the Fernando Alonso of Tier 2. Same gap between first to second and second to third. Tom ahead of Bluey because he's into the pit lane after doing only 9 laps on the hards. Oh, going off there is Cal. Warren gets back ahead. So Cal did have the move done, but once again, it just seems like that area of the track he's struggling. And Ridian on the back of Frosty. The top 5, pretty spaced out actually. So we can see what representative times they are all going to do now. And it's hard, medium, hard, medium, hard, medium. Hard. And then soft for Cal. Closest battle at the moment, really. Ridian versus Frosty, who is definitely going to probably pit soon. Let's look at fastest laps. Fastest lap goes to Callum, couple tenths ahead of Luigi and Seb. What about Logan? 31.0, not too far off. Running on board with the Ferrari heading into the final chicane. Frosty will either pit or he's going to be overtaken by Ridian. He does dive into pits, gives Ridian DRS. That's Warren. Probably having one of the best races here. He's solid in the points. Unfortunately, yes, he has a time penalty. Same with Frosty. So where is Frosty going to come out? Considering he was last of the top 6. As Cal comes in too. Getting rid of those softs, put onto mediums. It hasn't worked out for him, unfortunately. Warren up to 6th then. There's Frosty just exiting the pit lane. And he's going to be ahead of Tom. Frosty on the mediums then. Quite a gap to Warren. So Frosty, yeah, 8 seconds behind Warren. He's doing the same strat as Callum and Luigi. So if Seb, Logan and Ridian pit, they're going to be around about where Warren is. And yeah, Warren can go to the end. But those hards are going to be in some kind of state. Seb closing a little bit back on Luigi. Still no ERS. Oh, that's why. Same ERS as we checked last time, but Luigi has been easing out in front and saving his battery, using a little bit there when he needs to. Okay, Callum with 35%, not really making a mark too. So Seb on the mediums trying everything as he kicks up all the grass there. Logan 1.7, the top 2 in the World Championship. Logan can see his main rival as he's left Ridian a bit, as well as himself going off. So the top 5 all separated by more than 2 seconds. And look at that, Frosty's already taken about, what, 3 seconds out of Warren? Maybe? As Seb is in. And Logan. Yep, mediums can't make it that long. Can the hards make it that long, actually, now? We've still got 10 laps to go. So, they're all going to pit for another set of mediums, because they all started on softs. So the ones who started on mediums or softs who've gone to hards, they have the option of going to mediums too, or softs. Warren's up to 4th, but Seb is ahead of him. So Logan and Ridian come out. There's Frosty Life, and there's Logan, and round the outside goes Frosty, and Logan, they're battling wheel to wheel. The Aston Martin's run out of road, and he has to go off there. Logan, I think, did leave enough space, but Frosty just couldn't get the move done. So, in an event where staying out has lost you a whole pit stop to the others who have pitted, Frosty still finds himself with these lot. Brilliant stuff for him. He's ahead of Ridian on track position-wise. That's great to see, considering he started 3rd. The 2nd most experienced driver on the grid. Oren, another time penalty, got a yellow, and it is, I think, Oren. Drifting, Bluey, they're close to one another, and Oren's going to make it. Oh, it's that's why Oren's lost his front wing, so we could have had a safety car, actually. As Luigi's in, the hards will not go to the end. Bluey, 3 second out, oh no. As Callum follows him in then. Seb, going to gain quite the undercut on Luigi here. Callum's going to lose out a little bit to Logan and Ridian. This is going to be very close as they're closing up to Warren. And with 10 laps to go, the race is on. Mediums for Luigi, mediums for Callum. A little bit of a slow stop there. Seb crosses the line then as we got a yellow. Oren's out, and is that the safety car? It's a VSC. That's going to save Callum from potentially any overtake. As we see in the background, Seb is back up into the lead ahead of Luigi. Callum in third then. And if they didn't slow down, they may have been right on the back of Callum. Finally some luck for the Haas driver. Tom ahead of Iridian, who's in again on the softs. He just pitted for mediums. Well, that's a free position for Cal then. So don't really see why Iridian's done that, but whatever, go for it. Warren's still to pit, really. I actually don't know why Warren hasn't pitted with that VSC coming out. If he wants some action, why not? He fought one McLaren for a bunch of laps. He can fight another. I don't know why Callum's backing them off that much unless he decides to go on the Delta. Or does he deploy help that they can DRS one another to gain on Luigi and Seb? Seb on one lap older tyres. And hopefully none of them get a drive through when this VSC decides to end itself. So, we've lost Oren, who crashed. That means there's 11 left. Bluey. Oh, come on, Bluey. He's got a drive through. The one car who gets the drive through, and it's the guy in last. Points were a possibility today, but at the moment, unless someone else actually retires, that's not going to be the case. So, Seb versus Luigi again. Callum versus Warren and Logan, who are wheel to wheel now. A little bit of contact between the McLaren and Williams as Frosty tries to get ahead. Whoa, nearly hits the wall there. Has to save it. As Warren's got the DRS, he's going to fight back at Logan. Goes to the outside, onto the grass there. Goes the Williams. Logan's still ahead, and Frosty way behind. So Logan is ahead past Warren, and Frosty tried it. Warren not really used to fighting these guys. And yeah, that's kind of separated Frosty to the McLaren, who's going to hold him up a little bit now. But a top 5 finish at the moment. He's got to keep 3 seconds clear all over that. Look how much time they've lost. And Logan versus Callum then for the final podium place. It's if Callum can gain 3 on Logan, or Logan can extend his lead by 3. 66 points. It's going to go down to 63 or up to 69. Luigi still behind Seb. Battles for first and second. Battles for third and fourth. And there goes Frosty on the better exit than Warren, blasting it pretty much all his battery that he saved up to get up into P5. As, yeah, Tom can endure those hards, considering the mediums will fall off roughly at the end by the same amount. He has to just stay within 3 seconds of Frosty. As Seb loses the lead through 130. Oh, around the outside goes Luigi. And he's just showing off now. He takes back the lead of the Japanese Grand Prix. And so far, he's proven why he's the #1 driver to win this Grand Prix at the moment. But Seb, once again, blasting all his battery, not giving this up without a fight. Luigi's going to blast his to break the toe and keep ahead. Callum fastest lap. Now Logan fastest lap. 1.5 behind. It's heating up. Seb going to try and do everything he possibly can. Luigi, who lost the lead on the opening lap, to Seb, and then Cal, who spun. It's been Seb versus Luigi for the win. And while Luigi has shown better pace while they were separated, Seb is going to try everything possible to still win this Grand Prix, as Ridian now sets the fastest lap. And the more they battle, and lose time if they do, the more Callum potentially can gain on them. No connection issues, and I do not want to jinx it, but so far so good for everyone. No one's left. Seb nearly outside of a second. Callum could still sense a P2 here. They're all on the same tyres. I know a couple laps difference between the top 5, mainly 4. But this is where race pace is going to come into hand now. Sure, tyre management and ERS is a factor, but race pace is also the main one, as there's a yellow there for drifting going off, who's still going to take home a point unless one of them retires, and Bluey can get his first points in EXFL Tier 2. Tom already on the back of Warren then. Cal has to gain, what, 10 seconds? If Warren's really going to go to the end, I'm really not sure. There goes Tom. Is he going to go around the outside of 130R? Does Warren stick his nose in? Warren pretty much, Tom had to go off there because Warren was not going to give any room whatsoever. Tom has to back off. A little bit of contact. Tom runs Warren out road. A little bit of contact, but Tom gets ahead. Argy-bargy between the two, and Warren decides now is a good time to pit. Make sure not to speed. Go very slowly there. Yeah, Tom up into 6th then. Warren, who's caused a little bit of bother for a few cars in front. But it was nice to see him up there. So that's going to allow Cal up into 7th, Ridian up into 8th, and Warren will make it a Williams 9 and 10 at the moment to go on to the softs. 2 seconds then, Luigi has cleared Seb. And the gap is closing between Callum and Seb. Luigi, it's taken him long enough to put himself in this position. But unfortunately, yes, so many unlucky races for him, or slight mistakes. For so many good qualities to not have the greatest outcome in the race. This one, he's taken control of it himself. Currently sits P11 in the driver's standings, 1 point behind Ridian. He'll be ahead of him after today. 10 points behind Cargos Blong, he'll be ahead of him too. And then Frosty Life on 69. So this will promote Luigi up into the top 10 in the drivers. This will help Red Bull out, who are fighting Mercedes, 5 points behind. They'll definitely get up in at 8th. And they'll close on Aston Martin too, 27 behind. The other Red Bull in 6th, that's really good points at the moment. 33 compared to the 10, gaining 23. And they are 27 behind, so yeah, they're going to fight for 7th. 1.2 now between Callum and Seb. Seb, we know he can be very aggressive towards the end of a Grand Prix when fighting for a position, either defense or attack. But if it comes down to straight line speed and DRS, I'm not sure there's a lot Seb can really do. Callum lost a few tenths there. You can tell how low his downforce is because Logan gains all the time in the S's, but on the straights, Callum gains it all back. And with Seb not choosing to save his battery, he's going to fall into the clutches of Callum soon. And Frosty, it's just going to be smooth sailing from here on out. No mistakes, keeping the 3-second gap ahead of him. He's going to open, pray there's no safety car. Tom, well, those hards should be all right to the end. Cal is gaining a bit on him. Ridian may be on the back of him soon, but depends how long those softs last. Warren, I don't know what his fastest lap is. 31.9, we'll see what he can do in the first sector. 4 tenths down. 1.2, so maybe not this lap, but the next lap. Callum will probably be within DRS. Yeah, he's using more and more. He's going to have the same as Seb soon, but you can see him flashing. And while Logan hasn't exactly shown much pace this race, he's still up there, getting the points he needs. Gaining from others' mistakes, not making any himself. And that's not just racing, that's strategy, fuel loads, setup. As there we go, Callum is within a second. And when he can ace the first sector, even with low wings, he can be very quick. Luigi out on his own in Dreamland at the moment. And yeah, Callum could time this right. He'll be right on the back of him by the end of the lap, probably. Seb, 3rd in the World Championship as we have a yellow, and it's Cal! Spun again, same area. That's the 4th time now, I think, this race. As that allows Warren up into 9th. It's Warren versus Cal again. Unless Warren has an illegal overtake. I don't know. Hopefully got away with that. It's Warren versus Cal again then. We look further forward to 3rd in the World Championship. Against 2nd in the World Championship. Against 1st in the World Championship. Logan nearing a second with these lot. Cal just has to sit behind for now. Don't know if Seb's going to hold him up enough. He just needs a good exit. Does Callum? Not much. Oh, has Callum gone 3 sec? He went over the curb. He's got a time penalty. Seb's going to be blasting to keep ahead. But Callum has to now use everything to get ahead of the AlphaTauri. He's going to go left. He's going to go around the outside. And Seb, can he do anything? No. Callum's up in a second. But now, that's a crucial moment in the race. He has to get more than 3 seconds ahead of Seb and mainly Logan. A strength that Logan has proved time and time again that helps him gain many points, many podiums, many wins, is making sure to not get time penalties, and his main championship rival has just got one. And he's not clearing Seb, he's sticking with him. Same ERS now too for them. Logan using a bit to keep with him. And all while this happens, Luigi extends his gap. I believe this might be the last lap in terms of chances of a safety car. So yeah, Warren, as long as he stays within the time pen, Cal will get 8th. So Ridian hasn't, well, all Ridian's lost is maybe a maximum 2. Tom gaining a little bit, but he still has to gain 1.6 in 3 laps to get ahead of Frosty. Yeah, and speaking of many laps, Callum doesn't have many to extend. It's going to be Luigi, then Seb, who's just hung on to 2nd, then, and then Logan, who's again going to get a podium due to penalties. Callum's going to be 4th at this rate. Logan could get them both still, really, with the ERS. Seb knows he doesn't exactly have to attack Callum, but there is always the chance Callum could get one removed if one was unfair. I don't really see how he could, though. Seb with 0%. He's using it through the S's. At this rate, Callum just has to save it. I don't think he's going to be able to get the 3 seconds gap. He's making a few mistakes now. Right, 3 to go then. Luigi has controlled this race. He's just like Bluey, who's unfortunately going to probably take his 3rd or 4th 11th of the season. Callum, who's going to drop down to 4th. Seb and Logan, who are currently going to be on the podium. Frosty's going to get a P5, which is great for him. Tom, just more solid points for him. 6th. Ridian, race winner last time out. 7th at the moment. Warren, at the moment, is going to be 8th. Callum is losing a lot of time. So a P8 for Warren, that's a really good result for him. And drifting will salvage a point. Oh, Willie. Cal's gone off again. And there's drifting. This is the difference between 8th and 9th. When will Cal rejoin? There he is. He's fought one Williams for a lot of this race. Now he has to fight another as drifting finally experiences some dirty air for the first time in a while. And now he's right on the back of Cal, starting the penultimate lap. Will Bluey give Callum DRS when they come to lap him? At the moment, Callum stays ahead. And Logan, what does he do? Does he attack with no ERS himself now? He's just trying to hang on with the pace he has. And at the moment, the gap is 1.6 between him and Logan. It needs to double for Cal to beat his championship rival or lose out to him again. 69 points, it was that a couple races ago. It's going to be that again with 6 to go at the moment. So, Cal versus drifting then into the final chicane. 41% versus 6. Cal can afford to lose it here and then gaining back on the last lap. Warren using everything he can to get ahead of the McLaren in the slipstream now. He's gaining. Does he have a chance to go to the inside or outside for one more point? Not Warren, drifting. For now, he stays behind Cal, who used quite a bit of battery there to stay in front. Luigi heading through 130R for the penultimate time. Callum 13%, Seb 5%. Logan, he's on the yellow light. Don't know if anyone else is. Yeah, just Logan. That shouldn't be a bad thing. It's flickering. But if he did run out of fuel and lost 1 point whatever seconds he is from 3 seconds of Callum, that would be kind of interesting. It's on the red light. The championship leader, Logan, is on the red light of fuel. No one else is. Is that why Logan may have not been on the pace today? Has he been trying to save fuel? Who knows? But at the moment, we'll put it to leader. The gap needs to be 7.1. At the moment, it's 6.1. Logan 2 seconds behind Callum at the moment. And it needs to be 1 more second if Callum wants to beat Logan. This 3-point switch could mean a lot. Right, for now, we'll look at our race leader, who deserves this screen chime. Through the hairpin for the final time comes Luigi. He started his EXFL Tier 2 career last season. So we'll quickly look to drifting and Cal for one final time. Cal has held off drifting then as they head through turn 1. Luigi just exited Spoon. He's going to go up 130R, deploying all the battery. He has saved up. Looks like nothing's going to change further behind in terms of on-track position. Luigi flies by into 130R for the last time then. He joined, he showed potential, got P2 on the front row in Las Vegas last season out. We knew he would get some moments this season, and they've all come in one basket. The Japanese Grand Prix has been dominated by one man, and that one man is Luigi in the Red Bull. He crosses the line to win. Logan's run out of fuel. Has Callum got the 3 second on him across the line? Logan, he's not done it. Callum's beaten Logan by 8 tenths. Logan ran out of fuel. Callum held on. Luigi, pole and victory for the first time, both in EXFL Tier 2. Seb, second. Callum held on with his 3 second. Yes, he lost 3 points to Seb, but he gains 3 on Logan. The gap goes down to 63 instead of up to 69. Yeah, Logan ran out of fuel then. That's P4 for the championship leader. Frosty comes home 5th, Tom 6th, Rillian 7th, Warren comes home 8th, and Callum, Cal will hold on to 9th. It's been a difficult afternoon for McLaren with their struggles. Fuel and turn 8 pretty much. Drifting will come home for 10th, Bluey 11th. It's Luigi, P1. All congratulating Luigi on his victory. Yeah, what a race it was at the end there. Adrian Newey on the podium. That might be his last appearance on the podium at Red Bull. Look at that fastest lap from him. Wow. He loves this track. There you have it. Callum just held on to 3rd. Logan ran out of fuel. Could have been 2nd. A few more points. Could have been... You never know. Callum could have won this race if he didn't have a grid penalty with Warren. Warren's AI. But that was the Japanese Grand Prix then. Oh my god, there's a whole page of the race director that goes to Warren, to Oren. Look at that. Lap 5. Lap 20. Right, interviews. Can I invite Luigi's on thingy? Right, I can at least get Seb and Logan in the party. Alright, looks like Luigi will just take a little longer. He's just trying to update his app. As we have 2nd and 3rd joining the party now. We'll wait when Luigi gets. Right. Yeah. Callum got P3. Yeah, I know. I may or may not have been screaming, but anyway. Logan, have you included your audio?
Hello. Oh.
Have you included your audio?
Yeah.
Seb?
Yeah, I've already done it.
Alright. Actually, what happened? Actually, oh, that's what you've told me. Yeah, get out of here, Logan. You finished fourth.
Bye. Can
We've
I
got a
have an
one-man
Nah,
honorary
nah, nah.
interview?
You can stay. You can stay because Callum can't obviously join.
Last
He's
interview
not on
before
Xbox.
birthday, let me have it. Let's have
Oh
it!
wait. When's your birthday?
Saturday?
Is it tomorrow? Oh, Saturday. Well, happy birthday. For Saturday. Bit unfortunate with the race, but anyway, you qualified P8, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, just take us through Japan in general. Like, is there something with this track that doesn't agree with you? Bad?
Hate this
I don't know
track.
what happened.
Fucking
Ah,
hate
okay,
it.
that there. Okay.
Absolutely hate it. About an hour of practice I had, um, and I was trying to do Grand Prix mode, try and learn a bit of wheel to wheel around a track like this. I've not driven it on this game at all, so
Hmm.
it's like, yeah, I'm just trying to learn how to race AI similar to the uh the level of these guys, which is about I'm racing on about 107, which is like to race there to race um an online race is about, I'd say, about 107 AI. But
Yeah, fair enough.
you've gotta, yeah, it's horrible to miss out like that, and considering that or that I noticed on lap 25 that I was on 0.04 is horrible. But I mean,
Oh, you didn't notice until a few laps.
yeah, it
Because
was.
I was saying I thought the reason like you still hung on even at one of your worst tracks, you still finished in a solid position to gain good points. I thought for most of the race you were trying to conserve or something.
No,
Okay, no,
I
okay.
had no clue.
So
Man,
you experienced both heightened emotions and low emotions pretty much on the same lap because that was well a bit later because Callum got the three set, which I'm sure you were thinking, oh, I can get a podium now, but then
me and
the
Seb didn't even
fuel.
notice.
You didn't know
We
Callum
didn't
got a
even notice.
penalty.
We were so locked in that we didn't even
Oh,
notice.
when did you notice?
Lap 23.
Oh, okay. Um, but yeah, it's unfortunate to run out of fuel. I'll just let you all know. Qatar put a bunch of fuel in next week. I'm
Qatar,
talking 3, maybe 4 laps.
battle for
And
P2
yes, I
next
know.
week, lads.
Yep, I know you lot will look forward to it, but please put some fuel in
Yes,
because a
we'll do.
bunch ran out of fuel last season. But yeah, for now, well done on fourth. Fortunate to miss out on the podium, but still, Callum only outscores you by 3, so the gap goes from 66 to 63. We're still with 6 to go. You're in prime position still. Very
I
well
can't
done.
get her
Shouldn't
above
even be
60.
interviewing you.
I can't, I can't,
Yeah.
I can't get her above 60 whenever I have a chance to. I always fucking bottle it. That annoys me.
But anyway, for now,
Oh well.
I'll see you in Qatar. Well done.
Yeah.
Seb, P2 then. You gave it your all. You gave it everything.
I was having a
But
sing-song, lad.
how was your race then?
My race was good. I've had a couple of good results recently. I had no, Monza stolen away from me. Bitches.
Yeah, all right.
I'm sorry. Tom has a really nice juicy rear end.
Anyway, you took the lead on
Give
the
it.
opening lap and tried everything you could with the little battery you had for most of the race.
Yeah.
But Luigi's race pace was
To
I
to
think
be
what got the better
fair,
of you.
to be fair, for literally not being in my house at 20 past 6, I'll take this.
Whoops.
Fair enough. Yeah, you've been on strong form. A lot of races. I noticed a pattern. A lot of races this season. You've either took the lead right at the start, but some things unfortunately happen to
Yeah.
not make you keep it.
This
It's
one,
either
I was
you or
I was expecting
uh,
low points, but I'm very happy with P2 today.
considering you're the lone AlphaTauri fighting both McLarens to still beat
Fucking
them both.
Josh Hewitt, I swear to fucking God, this fucking man.
You need to have a talk with him.
I love the guy. Don't get me wrong. I fucking love Josh, but he needs to show up, man. He needs to turn up. He's like Birmingham. He is just Birmingham City, and they just don't turn up.
Just
Have a
apparently
talk with him,
but
message
they'll
him,
stay up.
and get him to race the last however many races. But for now, well done on another podium.
Thank you.
You and Logan are now tied now, I think. I think Logan was one podium ahead of you. So now you're both tied. This is your 20th podium in EXFL Tier 2.
To be fair, I
So
want to be the first driver to reach 1,000 tier 2 points. That's
that
it.
you're
That's
on what, 700
yeah.
something? So yeah, out of your 100 and what, 6 races now.
Mhm.
Nearly a fifth of that is on the podium, so that's really good.
I thought I was a lot more shit than that.
But
Well,
yeah,
to be
for
fair,
now,
there's still
very well
60
done.
races not on the podium.
6
Blood-
races to go. You're both 3 behind
Blood is
Josh.
cooking.
That could change at the end. Anyway,
It's Josh doesn't fucking turn up.
Luigi, are you there, mate? Have you included your audio? I don't know if you can on Xbox app. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it all doesn't matter because you have just won an EXFL Tier 2 Grand Prix, mate. Well bloody done. So you got your first pole. How was the lap? The one, not the end, the one you did. Yeah. Yeah, you still got pole. I think everyone had something on the last one. So Callum got held by Warren, who retired, and I think he was the one who held you. But yeah, still pole, first ever pole, and it's so satisfying when you get your first pole and turn it into your first win. You lost the lead at the start to Seb, but I'm sure because you definitely had the pace over him, I'm sure it didn't really bother you too much. Oh, and to Cal as well. Oh, can I just ask, what happened did Cal just lose it in front of you when he was second? Okay. In the race, you dropped down to third, the McLaren in front of you. Did he just spin? Yeah. Yeah, he did that like 4 times around that area in the race, maybe even 5. But for now, yeah, you battled with Seb a couple times. It was very clean, very nice. You had the pace, you controlled the race, and you very much deserve this. Ever since Vegas, when you got on the front row, we were waiting all season for something like this to happen, and all the eggs in one basket, and you delivered today. So very well done. Puts you into the top 10 in the driver's standings now. Don't know how much higher you can climb. I think Frosty's your next opponent. And you're doing Red Bull well with Tom. Good points. So yes, very well done. Right, that has been the Japanese Grand Prix in EXFL Tier 2 Season 8. We've got 6 races remaining. The races are flying by now. And we will see you in Qatar in 7 days' time.